Hey y'all, this is Tiffany, Texas Bass Babe, coming to you with KastKing to talk about tackle organization. So I am a co-angler in both the Major League Fishing Phoenix Bass Fishing League and the Bassmaster Central Opens. As a co-angler, it is extremely important that you have the gear that you need, that it is in an organized fashion, and you're able to find it the minute you need it. So today I'm going to walk you through how I have organized my boxes for the particular tournament that's coming up for me. I am about to fish Ross Barnett, the first Central Open in Mississippi. So I've just prepared all of my tackle boxes. I'm about to put them in my co-angler bag, but I'm going to walk you through the way that I have organized them. So the first thing that I do when preparing for a tournament is to think about the type of water that I'm going to be fishing. I have not had the opportunity to pre-fish on Ross Barnett, and I have never fished Ross Barnett before. So this will be my first time on that water. I have done some research. I have looked into how the water is right now. It's pretty flooded, you know, whether it's clear water or murky water or different lures that people recommend, or you know, I watch videos of other anglers who have fished Ross Barnett before. Things like that can help you to determine what lures you need to pack. Of course, I always bring extra lures, and if you look, I've got a whole stack of other boxes and things that I will be bringing with me on my trip. I will be pre-fishing for a couple days prior to the opens. Hopefully I've gotten what I need to be packed in my bag, but if not, I'm bringing some extra baits just to be sure. One of the things that I'm guessing I'm probably gonna throw is a type of crankbait or rattle trap. I probably won't throw these deep diving crankbaits. My crank box I typically keep as it is. I very rarely change things out. I may change colors of cranks, but I usually try to keep the different levels of depths, and I have mine organized by depth, and then my traps are on this side of it. And so my traps and my frit sides. This is how I organize my cranks, and I have one box that I know if I pull this up, it's got my cranks and my traps, and hopefully I find what I'm looking for if I'm throwing that type of bait. The next box that I've organized, this box I put together specifically for this tournament because I know I'm probably going to be doing a lot of jig fishing, and I am anticipating what colors of jigs that I'm going to need, and it's mainly, as you notice, a lot of black and blue, a lot of green pumpkin, and some white and chartreuse. The waters there are pretty murky, pretty muddy, so that is what I have planned. I also have thrown a little bit of red in there just in case I need that. I have a variety of jigs that I keep in my box. I also have white and chartreuse swim jigs. I've got casting jigs, football head jigs, my chatterbaits, and then I also have my frogs organized in this box. I have them organized by the type of frogs, you know, whether it's a regular traditional frog or if it's a popper frog. I also have my soft frogs and my top toads. I also have a buzzbait frog that any of these can be tied on with. For each box, as I put it together, I like to label it on the front exactly what it is, so when I'm looking into my bag, I can see this one has jigs and frogs. Another thing that is specific to the waters that I am fishing are lizards. Lizards and big worms. I feel like this is going to be an important box for me during this tournament, and that I will be throwing a lot of lizards. Again, I have a variety of colors. I haven't got out there yet to narrow down exactly what colors I will be throwing, but I have mainly put colors that I anticipate throwing for dirty water. I also have my big ribbon-tail worms, and I have some simple setups, some, you know, EWG J-hooks that I like to use for creatures. I also have some shaky heads in there for my ribbon-tail worms. Now this box is my Texas rig box, and this is one of my main boxes that I use throughout any tournament. On the back of the boat, throwing a worm is really important in most waters, and I anticipate that I will be throwing a lot of Texas rig this tournament as well. So I have put this box together with all of my Senkos and stick baits that I plan to use and the colors that I plan to use. In this corner, I have my bullet weights by size in little baggies, so that way they're easy to find. I also have my 4/0 hooks, my 3/0 hooks, wacky rigs. I have extra things for Texas rigs if I want to add a bead, if I want to add a stopper, or a willow blade. I have all of those in a little compartment here. And then I have more shaky heads. I don't know how much I'm going to be throwing a shaky head versus a Texas rig, but I want to have that available in the same box so that way it's easy. I can open it and choose what I'm going to tie on. Another thing that I anticipate throwing are soft swim baits. Swim baits are one of my favorite things to throw. I have gotten a wide variety of colors you'll see, mainly geared again towards murky water. I have colors that I think bass will very easily see in the water, but then I also have colors like green pumpkin added in. We've got the whites, we've got the dark, blues and blacks, the chartreuse, and then I have some shad colored. In addition to that, I have my terminal tackle with my swim baits. So I have a variety of different, underspins, ball head jigs, and then I also just have straight twist lock underbelly weighted hooks of a variety of sizes. And again, each of these boxes gets a label on the front. This one says swim baits. So I also have my creature baits. These are mainly to use as either Texas rigged or as trailers for my jigs. I also have some different finesse type baits. I have some robo worms, some finesse worms, another pack of smaller ribbon tail worms. These are a different variety of lizards, so I put them in this box as opposed to the box where I had all of my Zoom lizards. Then I have, all of my minnow scrubs and Z-craws in here as well. This is a box that I plan to use for trailers, maybe for shaky heads. I didn't include my terminal tackle because it's already in those other 3 boxes. But lastly, for my tackle boxes, I have my hard top waters. I have my suspending jerk baits, my Chopo whopper floppers, some bull shads and bull gills, and then some spooks and poppers. In my tackle bag, I also always keep, these are the KastKing Cutthroat pliers. These pliers are really, really great. Typically boaters will have pliers, but I like to have my own just to be prepared. These also have a line cutter built into them and a little split ring opener. And you can also crimp with them. It's just a really great tool to have on hand and not have to rely on your boater to supply you things like this. Additionally, I always bring scissors. And these are the KastKing scissors. Other things I keep in my box, I always keep leader line, sunscreen, some kind of attractant, dip and glow, and a 7-Up fizzy in case you need to revive a bass. Lastly, and very importantly, I always keep some sunglasses. These are the KastKing sunglasses. This particular bag has a little pocket for them, so I keep them in my bag just to make sure I don't forget my sunglasses and get out on the water and not have them. So I'm gonna get this all loaded into the bag. All right, now that we've got our bag all loaded up, let's talk about some of the things that are important for you to have out on the water, some of my essentials when I'm fishing a tournament that I know is going to be an all-day tournament. And in this case, it's going to be a 2-day tournament with 2 days of pre-fishing for me. So that's 4 days straight that I'm going to be on the water. Want to make sure that I'm covered for my trip. A buff. A buff is extremely important, and I will probably pack one for each day just so I have a fresh one every day. But keeping a buff to cover your neck, cover your face, keep that sun protection is always important. As I mentioned earlier, I keep sunscreen in my bag. Additionally, with sunscreen, bug spray is also really important. I always keep a bottle of bug spray in my bag. Sunscreen, bug spray. Also, staying hydrated out there while you're fishing is really, really important. So Gatorade, water, some sort of, drink other than a soda or a Monster or something of that sort. But I always keep something to stay hydrated. And also boat snacks. I don't like to eat during tournaments. I don't eat a sandwich or anything like that. But I do like to have small snacks, keep my blood sugar levels and my tummy full. I typically bring things like jerky, or this is like a little fruit strip bar, something that's quick and easy that I can eat during a boat run. I always bring some kind of cold weather gear, even if the weather looks like it's going to be great outside. I like to bring a cold weather gear with me. I will pack my bibs as well. I also like to bring some kind of rainy weather gear. This is my raincoat. I always like to have those on hand. I feel like it's important to be prepared for elements because sometimes it may say that it's sunny out, but that rain comes and you want to be prepared for it. The nice thing about this jacket is you can actually roll it up into a little ball and put it in the side pocket of your bag, no problem. Those are some tips for staying organized as a co-angler. I hope you enjoyed this tackle organization, and if you have any questions, please drop a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the KastKing channel and the Texas Bass Babe channel. And I thank you so much for joining me today. Tight lines, guys.